Monster Hunter needs a better training room. If I'm being honest, I'm surprised we even got one at all, and they have been quite questionable in some regard. Training mode in video games are designed to help you learn features and mechanics without the presence of a time constraint or an active opponent. In World, we got the training room, and while a big step up from Generations, which was just using a weapon and a style to hunt a great Macau, still lacked something. Sure, it gave you slinger ammo to test, slopes, vines, and wedge beetles, which was a nice touch considering these were features quite prevalent in the game, and that's kind of the same with Rise, where it has a great wire bug, ballista, and cannon, but still, something was missing from both of them. Can you guess what that is? I'm kidding, you don't actually have to guess. It's control. Fighting games often have their training rooms come with the ability to change health values, special meter, items, if any, and more. Being able to change any of these values is important because, for instance, some characters have built-in bonuses under certain conditions, special moves that give them an altered form, light or heavy character combo interactions, health pools, etc. The point is, you're able to find and alter these settings in order to test these things out. Monster Hunter can learn from this. I mean, seriously, Street Fighter and Monster Hunter are under the same company, and I'm sure one of them could just walk down the hall and show them what's up. With Sunbreak less than a month out from release, and we have no information on anything about the training room, here are a couple of things I have on my wish list for that said training room. Environmental additions. As much as I hate World, I have to give credit to where credit is due. They perfectly executed the various terrain-specific activities you would constantly encounter in the game, not just from the land, but also from the pickups as well. None of this is represented in Rise except for the slope, the ropes, wire bugs, great wire bug. I mean, that's about it. The wire bug being redundant since you can, set your wire bug to 3 or infinite use and then just sling around the area, not really needing the great wire bug. What wouldn't be redundant is adding endemic life. Spear birds, butterflames, hunting helpers, the random wall crab that shows up in the Sandy Plains, because I don't understand what that does. And as a matter of fact, I did not know what an aurora turtle did, or an aurora turtle. I don't know what the hell that thing is until I found it in the All Mother fight. They show up in the Sandy Plains and the lava caverns, and I've never seen one till that moment. Let that sink in. Having these things in the training room could help immensely with practicing different scenarios you would use them in and how they would affect your hunter and the monster. Conditional skills like Latent Power, Agitator, Resentment, Hellfire Cloak, and Dragonheart. These are skills that are either difficult, time-consuming, or impossible to have active in the training room. Latent Power activates after a certain amount of time or damage, which leaves only the time in combat as the only option. Agitator and Hellfire Cloak only activate when the monster is enraged, and, well, guess what? The Toad Viscera can't be enraged. Resentment requires red health to activate, but if you're wearing your full set and you take a hit and you just immediately lose health, any shrivel of red that comes up is just immediately recovered before you're able to do what you want with it. And that pretty much goes the same with Dragonheart and Heroics. I think we've all been there at one point where you're just throwing a barrel on yourself for like 10 minutes. If you have a skill in your set, they should have a toggle in the practice options to have it active until you turn it off. God only knows how much math I do in order to get those estimates off of Heroic and Dragonheart numbers. Stat sliders. Like I mentioned earlier with the fighting games, being able to control stats is monumental. Some skills activate under conditions, and one you might have noticed is Heroics. Do you understand how long it takes to get your health down from 30% using the Toad Viscera or a bomb? That's a different beast entirely. One that could be slain by merely going into an option in the menu and being able to just drop your health to 30%. But let's not stop there. Let's take it one step further. Controlling sharpness levels, no longer needing to hit the Toad Viscera for what feels like ages to drop it to a certain level, or having to sharpen it constantly to bring it back to full if you only got 10 points of white. Either set it to be a certain color or just make it unlimited, as long as the weapon can have that color. Speaking of hitting the monster, controlling the Toad Viscera's hit zones. If you didn't know, this is what the Toad Viscera's hit zone values are. Raw damage values are separated by a 20 value difference, and their elements are separated by a 5 value difference. But those numbers aren't realistic. what looks like a lot of damage on the Toad Adversary is going to look like absolute dickens on the monster, because monster hit zone values are a lot lower and weirder than that, like Arzuros' Ass Cheeks being 66 raw and 15 fire. Being able to copy a monster's values and adjust the Toad Adversary accordingly would be able to help accurately showcase what you would be doing to a specific body part that doesn't involve all the damn math. Not saying that I wouldn't do it, I'd still do it, but it'd be a lot more helpful, especially the newer players who would like to know the kind of damage they're doing and they don't know how to do the math. So yeah, those are my important suggestions I have in my opinion. So if you have any suggestions of your own that you would like to think that would be a great addition, let me know in the comments, and be sure to tell me what you think of my suggestions as well. And until next time, I got nothing.